Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Compelling Conversations podcast. Today, I'm joined by Shahroze. Shahroze, thanks so much for joining us, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on here. It's a great opportunity, and it's I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And you're joining us from Sugarland, yeah?
Yeah, well, Richmond now, but I mean it's the same thing. It's like 10 minutes away, but pretty much yeah, Richmond, Sugarland, where all
Cool.
the Desi people are.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to begin by asking, or you're a thespian, which I think is really cool. When you're acting, do you feel like something enters your soul?
Hmm, that's actually a very interesting question. Um, I feel like what enters my soul is not something like foreign or random. I would say it's more the okay, let me put it this way. The soul of the character that I'm uh getting into and portraying, that person's character and that person's soul gets put into me. Because basically I don't like to think of acting as acting, I like to think of it as becoming or being, because in my perception and my experience, um I I don't want to just, pretend like I don't want to pretend like I'm trying to be someone else. Like I want to become that person. So in terms of your question, I think the soul of the character is what enters into me. And I try my best, and with all the research and the script work and analysis and everything, I try my best to become that person. And it's a version of myself, basically.
Do the souls of those characters, as you put it, do you feel like they ever remain with you once you've moved on from that character?
F well, not completely, but certain personality traits, like uh, like the way someone uh, might be carrying himself, a specific character, the way someone talks, and those aren't like huge things. Obviously, like it's not like a major difference that is gonna stick with me, but it's just little things that basically it's like a working on myself also in a way, because I am through the experience and through the experience of being these different characters, you learn things from them that you wouldn't have learned about yourself on your own, because you're exploring new personalities, and within those personalities you find things that you like or you're a fan of, so you just automatically, at least for me, pick up on those like small little traits, and it just becomes a part of you. Like I guess, for example, one of my characters that I did in the past for a film was a TV show host, and for hosting, you have to be super like out there, and you have to have like a specific personality. You have to be fully confident, and you just have to be you have to have a presence, basically. And before I did that, I wasn't as like loud and like out there, not to say that I'm like loud or anything now, but I wasn't like I wasn't like I didn't have that type of TV show host type of personality. Like I wasn't like out there like that, but through the experience of uh, playing this host and learning about it and doing the research for it, and just diving into what kind of traits these people have and how they portray themselves on these shows, it made me realize that I could adopt some of these traits and just improve myself internally and externally, in terms of like confidence or having a stage presence or more of a stage presence, and just being uh, having a more strong like host type of personality. So that's one example that I guess of a trait that can stick with you.
It's cool. Marlon Brando, he famously said that, we're always acting. If we didn't know how to act, we wouldn't really be able to survive. And I think that's a really interesting thing that's always stuck with me for years. And I remember reading Alan Watts, and he introduced me to this idea about how pantheons in ancient societies, how, for example, with the Romans, right? Like the god of war, Mars, it's like a personification of the human anger. So these pantheons, these deities are just personifications of aspects within the human being. So when people create characters, right, whether in any kind of art, do you think that there's a relationship to that?
You mean like the relationship of the people externalizing themselves,
Because
or
characters are like obviously, fictitious. They can be real, right? Theoretically, but they're fictitious. Do you think that those characters that are created are just personifications of elements inside of human beings?
oh yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. Because what's it called? It's definitely you're playing. So like this kind of relates to my previous point that I was talking about. It you're not really ideally you're not trying to play pretend or try to be someone else. You like with these characters, you're trying to the aim, the goal, at least for me and the way I've been taught, is these characters that are being created and you're playing are extensions of you, different versions of you, like like multiverse, like Doctor Strange type. But uh, so I think that is how it relates to your question. Uh, these characters, which however they may be, whether they're like playing like deities or like street type of thugs or superheroes, it's all ideally an extension or a different version of the person you are already. Because that's the most authentic way to play a character, is to fully be yourself, but switch up some things and tweak your like personality a little bit here and there to match what's going on, and basically just try to become a different version of yourself for that time period. So yeah, I agree with your question.
Does that authenticity ever scare you?
uh It would, but so far I haven't done anything yet that would be too like crazy intense like that. But I know obviously there's so many stories like that where people get so much they get too into the roles, and it just like takes over. Like a recent example of that is with the Elvis movie, Austin Butler. Like I don't know if you've seen some
Oh,
of his
really? No, tell me about that. What's up with that?
so he's playing Elvis in the new movie that just came out, and that took like a few years, like maybe 2 3 years to get made, and like preparation and everything. And if you see interviews of him before that movie started and now, his like he can't even help it. Like his voice, the tone of his voice and how he talks is in a way that's similar to Elvis, because he had to basically live with the whole Elvis lifestyle for multiple years, and he
Wow,
fully like dived into it day and night, like living and breathing Elvis. So his voice, he
that's
obviously
wild.
changed it. Yeah, he changed it for the movie to like talk like how Elvis used to talk. But since he was doing that so much now, if you see a before and after, before he used to talk, just normally like how he always does, but now he has this sort of like Elvis sort of style, I guess, or like some sort of tone that is it. He said in an interview like it's not going to just go away. Like it's like it's stuck with him for now, at least for the time being. So that was very interesting for me to see. And
It is
then
very interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Acting is like obviously like a way of life, but what about it draws your attention? Why are you so into it, I guess?
Well, for me, it's my main attraction to it is I basically I enjoy trying. Basically, I enjoy exploring other facets of life. And
Mhm.
with acting, you can be whoever, you can be whatever, depending on what roles you're playing. You can, so for me, I've always had a thing uh, for not wanting to be in like routines in life and not sticking to
That's
like
interesting.
the same thing.
Why that?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I've just never been, I've always just been so, I mean, not to say that routines are bad. Like, obviously, you have to have a life routine and things like that. But in terms of um, I guess job wise, or like, if you're working on 9 to 5 or things like that, that same day to day cycle, it's just not my thing personally. I know it's like other people, everyone is different with their preferences and how like they live their life, obviously. But for me personally, I've just never been a fan of being stuck in a same routine where I'm doing the same thing every day over and over again. Like I need a what's the word?
An outlet?
I need to be, yeah, on outlet and to be spontaneous, and that reflected over to my passion of acting, because in acting you get to be different people when you're being in the different roles. So
Yeah.
that diversity of characters and uh, experiencing other lifestyles, even though it's just for a little bit, it's that was what mainly intrigued me the most at first, because I enjoy uh, learning about these other things. Because obviously, if you're playing like roles like doctors or some sort of like government workers, cops, spies, or anything like that, you obviously have to do research about it and you have to learn about them, the lifestyle. So that's just an automatic like plus side for me too, because I like gaining knowledge about different career fields, different lifestyles, and just every person's story, like things like that. So that's definitely one of the main things that intrigue me about acting and just filmmaking in general.
Yeah. We've only spoken once ever, and I think it was
Yeah.
really cool that that one conversation we had, and you touched on this. You said, um, I mean, you need to have like some sort of passion outside of like your regular life, or do you think it brings you sanity to have that passion?
Yeah, I it for 100% does, because if I if
What
I
does that sanity mean, by the way? I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just
no,
curious.
no, 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 you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
What does that sanity mean? I guess it means that hmm, I don't want to sound like cynical or anything, but it's a like a light of hope for me, basically,
Mm.
of not being stuck in a life cycle forever, like the same life cycle, uh it's uh it's a form of hope for me, and it just gives me it always gives me something to look forward to, especially when you're working like a career job and trying to follow your and pursue your passions at the same time. It can get tough balancing, because obviously when you're working a job that takes most of your time, it takes a lot out of your life. So having a passion like this, and not just any passion, something you truly enjoy, and you're aware that this is the thing that you enjoy and makes you happy, that is something that is just I think it's a blessing that I'm able to be aware of this and have this. And it's just it gives me obviously enjoyment when I do the films and am just acting, or even just doing script work or auditions. It's it's a hope for me. It's hope, yeah, to put it simply.
I like that. Do you have a thing for unlived realities? Kind of seems like the
Unlived
theme here.
realities.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean exactly? Like different lifestyles, or?
Yeah, because I feel like acting in some way, it opens a portal for unlived realities, that kind of opportunity to become someone you're not, to lead a life that you don't exactly have. So would you say you have a thing for unlived realities, or do you still not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I would say I do. uh I guess I haven't really like thought of that words, that unlived reality specifically, but now that I think about it, I definitely do. Because like I said, I'm very intrigued by uh life stories of other people, and just to see and to know what makes them them, like what's your story. Like sometimes I see random people just like walking on the sidewalk, or like at Walmart or something, or anywhere, and I'm just like looking at them and just thinking like, I wonder like, why are you here right now in this moment? Like what led you to be here? What's your story? Like, like why are you here? Not in like a weird way or anything, like not in a bad way, but like,
it's
I'm
a
always
great.
interested
Yeah,
to like,
yeah. My bad for cutting you off.
no, you're
It's a
good.
great perspective there. Yeah, I like to think about that as well. And in fact, I think it was Marlon Brando. There's a biography on him, and that's literally what he would do. He would just kind of like sit on the streets of New York and just watch people for hours, just kind of see what they were
Yeah,
doing. Yeah,
it helps for sure, because
yeah,
just picking up on little things, like little behaviors, little movements. It's definitely something as actors. A lot of them talk about it in interviews where you can implement yourself, and uh, it's just a help, for studying and research purposes.
yeah. There's a Persian American actor. He was in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie where he played the funny cop, if you remember, in the interrogation room.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he recently had an interview, and he said something interesting that he's been acting since like 2000, like the year,
Hmm.
and what he had decided for himself was, acting isn't really about, like the glitter and the fame. It's about change. That's what it's always been about since the ancient Greeks. Would you say the same thing for yourself, that it's about change?
Yeah, yeah, to an extent it is for me, in terms of not like forcing yourself to change or anything, but change in terms of like the experiences you're going through during the sets and during the shootings. uh Change in terms of you personally, like I was and talking about it a little before, that you changing just unknowingly, subconsciously, by picking up on little personality traits from the characters you're playing, and change in terms of also uh, the life cycle of a movie, of the storyline, where you're not just staying a static uh, character just throughout the whole movie. You start at one place and you end up at another place, emotionally,
Mm.
mentally, and maybe even physically towards the end, or leading up towards the end. So I guess to answer your question, those would be a few relatable things to change that I would think of personally.
That is really cool, actually, especially the way you mentioned how you like change from the beginning to the end. I was wondering, like, for an actor, have you noticed, like, when you're like acting on a particular project, that your dreams are different from when you're not acting?
Yeah, for sure. Because when you're
Hmm.
on set, and when you're on these productions, it's honestly like an energy thing. Uh, I've most like 99% of the sets that I've been on and the productions I've worked with, every time I'm on there, everyone, all the people, all the crew members, all the co-stars, all the directors, producers, everyone, they most of the time, like 99% of the time, they're always like such friendly people. They're always willing to help you out. They're all because they want you to do good, So they want to make you feel comfortable. They want the best for you, and because it's such a positive environment, at least for me, it's always been. I'm very enjoyable and comfortable. Uh, it's Whenever I'm on there, it changes. It doesn't change my dreams in terms of like, oh, I'm like when I'm on set, oh, I want to be an actor, but then when I'm not, oh, like I don't want to be an actor. It's not like a major change like that, but I'd say it's more like a lot of motivation. So like obviously, like even when I'm not on set, like my passion and uh overarching goal is to be in the film industry and do acting and all that stuff, you know. But and that's always there. That's just a foundation. But when I'm on set, whether that's a short film, commercial, industrial, anything, it just gives me a lot of motivation to be like, and reassurance basically, and confirmation to make to. I just think to myself like wow, like I'm here right now, like this is happening, like I'm on a set like filming, but I'm also thinking like wow, like this is how I want to continue like living. Like I want to be in more of these sets. I want to experience more productions. So because of that, I it gives me a lot of motivation to continue pushing forward and continue trying to get new opportunities and continuing to improve myself as an actor, learning, just basically improving everything about myself and wanting to push even more harder towards my goals.
What about your dreams when you're sleeping? Like, do you ever in your dreams feel like, okay, I'm not Shahroze right now. I don't know, Louis or something. Have you ever had that sort of
Oh,
an experience?
yeah. I mean, I can. You don't want to go into dreams with me, dude. Like my, I don't know why, but
What does
like
that
those types,
mean?
because I have the most like psycho, like crazy dreams. Like it's insane. Like I can talk about that for like hours. It's like crazy. Like
Do you mind sharing a glimpse of that? No pressure, of course, but I'm just
yeah, yeah,
curious.
yeah. No, no, no. I mean, like, have you seen Inception? Like you've seen
I
Inception,
have,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
So I've literally had an Inception dream where I'm four dreams in deep. So for
Wow.
example, and I'm aware
Wow.
of every single like world that I. So basically, I'm in one dream, and then I'm aware. I realize it's a dream, so kind of like a lucid dream type. So like stuff is happening. There's like a bunch of just, like random stuff going on. So then I go to sleep in that dream, and then I wake up, and then I think I'm like awake in, you know, the real life. But then I'm in like a whole different reality, and then like random stuff happens. So that keeps happening like four times, and then I
Wow.
finally wake up in real life, and then it just like it's crazy because it seems so real. Uh, but yeah, that was one of the craziest dreams that I've had.
That's wild.
I've been to like space, like literally I've been on like a Mars or like moon type of planet. And I've like literally like touched the soil, the rocks. So like I kind of know how like the moon feels, if it was accurate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've literally been on like space like adventures, things like that.
Mhm.
Um and that ties into things like I don't know if you know what astral projection is,
Yeah,
but
elaborate on that. What kind of experiences have you had with that?
so I haven't had too much
Insidious
experience with.
experiences?
No, luckily, no, I wouldn't want that. But
Yeah.
I haven't had. Most of my experiences are with of like extremely vivid like dreams and lucid dreaming type of things where I know this is a dream and I can like kind of control it. But astral projection is a whole different thing. It's a little related, but it ties into it. But it's basically your like in a sense your soul leaves your body and you can basically do whatever if you're to that point of awareness in that astral projection. So with me, I haven't done anything crazy or anything like that. uh Only like once or twice it happened to me like just by itself, where I was staying over at one of my friend's apartments, and it was like a group of us, like we were on a trip, and we're I woke up and I went to the kitchen and everything, and then I turned around, and then I saw You know how in like Call of Duty games, you have like thermal vision, so you
Yeah.
can see like through walls and stuff. So I turned around from the kitchen, and then I saw like it was like basically a like thermal vision everything, so I can see oh my friend's like outline, uh, and like a visual of him basically like sleeping in the room to the right. I could see one of my other friends sleeping in the room to the left, even though there it was behind walls and everything, doors were closed. I had like a basically like a 3D like view of everything, and then I looked to where my like sleeping area was, and I saw myself sleeping. So that's when I realized I was like, oh crap, like this is not like I'm not awake right now. This is like I'm astral projecting, and that was my first time I've ever like done it, and it
Wow.
was on accident. But it
How
was
old were
very
you?
crazy because this was honestly like kind of recently, like I 2 years ago.
Wow.
So that's it was very like I remember it like completely because it was when I first realized what was going on. I was like, oh, like what the like this is like this hasn't happened to me before. Like I've only had like lucid dreams and create like that type of stuff, but this is like a whole different thing. And there's a bunch of different studies done on this, and it's a whole rabbit hole that you can dive into. But basically, like it's an out of body experience essentially. So that was the craziest thing for me. Like I saw myself sleeping, and I was in the kitchen, but then I ended up waking up, and like everything was normal, but it was just that was one of the craziest things, most likely.
Why do you think these dreams come to you? And do you think that acting has an influence on that?
Um, in a slightly, uh, so I obviously like I'm into like acting and filmmaking and everything, but because of that, when I was like going through that, I got into meditation, and that I don't know if that's a direct factor, but I feel like it definitely has been one of the causes to why I have such crazy dreams. I used to do meditations like every night before sleeping. It was really a pretty big game changer for me because it clears your mind. Uh, Literally, like it heals you mentally, and it relaxes you. You wake up feeling fully light. Um, I got into I've learned about meditation while I was going in the beginning of my acting stages, uh,
Why do you
and I
correlate
got
those
into
two? I'm just curious. Meditation and acting. What's you're speaking as if there's like a innate connection. Is there?
not necessarily, but for me the connection is that I like to keep a clear mind. I try not to if I don't have to, I don't want to stress about things, because at the end of the day, like uh, things are gonna happen. You can figure stuff out. Solutions will come up if there's like any issues or anything like that. But I don't want to stress too much if I don't need to,
Yeah.
And because of that, like meditation relates to that because when you're doing these meditation practices and exercises, it fully relaxes you and it takes your stress away. So that relates to that's how those two relate. And in terms of acting, uh, I've noticed that when I used to be like, a lot of things on my mind, uh, I'm worrying about like school or like, just things in life, just worrying about life. Uh, that way, when when you have that much like stress on you, uh, it affects your performances and the ability to, memorize your lines, character analysis, script work, and all that. But when you have a clearer mind, or as clear as it can be, it's easier and more helpful for you to learn about your character and just give your performances.
Mm.
So I
And do you
think
think
that's
that sort
for
of
me.
bliss state contributes to astral projection?
Potentially, it could. But for astral projection, that's like I said, it's a whole different thing. You have to do a crazy amount of meditation. You have to be really like one of those like like Zen type people. But it's very like that's completely that's just like honestly that's not even that much related. I'd say more of like the meditation and lucid dreaming is more relatable to like the the acting side of things, and also visualizing. Oh, okay. I guess another relation is when when I was meditating, I was practicing visualization. So what that is basically you creating such a pinpoint, detailed picture in your mind, with your eyes closed and everything, just using your imagination. And if you're doing that while you're meditating, you have a clear mind, free of any stress, and you can basically visualize and like your goals and your dreams and everything, and that ties into things like manifestation, law of attraction. But that's also like kind of different, but just
Are
like
those
a
things
little
that,
summary of it.
well, actually, real quick, I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
when you did notice you were astral projecting, did it feel like sleep paralysis?
No, no. I haven't had actual sleep paralysis. Well, no, I've had sleep paralysis maybe once, but it wasn't anything too crazy. This experience that I was speaking about, it was just it was just straight to it. Because
What?
usually,
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that one of my friends, we were talking about sleep paralysis, and the way that I put it into words was you're in this plane of reality, this limbo, and you can't really see, but you can sense other beings, so to speak, around you. And so I was wondering, like, when you were in that astral projection, were you in a different plane of reality, a limbo where you sensed other things around you?
Hmm.
Or is that too
Honestly,
meta?
honestly, like I don't, I don't know. I mean, I would assume it. I don't know if it was a different dimension or reality, like because nothing. It was still like the same like world and everything. Like I was still in like real life, like everything was normal, but I was just like seeing everything and seeing myself sleeping. So I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't know what the exact answer to that would be. I guess I'll have to find out
Yeah, no, it's cool.
eventually.
It's cool, no pressure. But that's such a curious thing that, like this conversation has just been such a fascinating one. It's gone to
Yeah.
places I never would have imagined. But I'm so sorry for cutting you off before. You
No,
were
no, you're good.
yeah, what were you saying before that?
Um, I think I was just saying that how everything this all ties in. So mainly it ties in from uh wanting to have a clear mind and clear soul so you can better uh become your characters and give better performances, I guess.
Mm,
Uh that would be my summary of it.
yeah, a clear soul can be dyed by any color, huh?
Exactly. You because
Yeah.
you're absorbing so many different characters and personalities. You don't want to lose yourself, So
Yeah, fascinating stuff, man. Do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you felt
um,
like you wanted to express, you didn't get a chance to?
honestly, I'd say I guess and when it comes to the topic of like passions and having goals and doing what you really want to do in life and not being stuck in like a cycle that you don't want to be stuck in, I'd say like if you have any sort of passion that that you enjoy and this is it for you, like just no matter what happens, no matter what comes up, because obviously obstacles are going to come in your way no matter what, regardless. So just whatever happens, it'll happen, but make sure always find a way to keep pushing forward towards your dream, towards your goals, and always follow them. Because my biggest thing is having regrets in life when we're older. and looking back, and the word in Urdu, it's called kash, like I wish. Uh, I don't want to, I don't want to say that word when I'm older, or I don't want to even think that, because uh, that's very, that's one thing that's very, like, I guess a fear of mine, is to have regrets when it was something that was easily doable for you, and you could have done it, but it just, stuff came up and you weren't able to. But regardless of that stuff, whatever comes up, just keep pushing towards it, and just try, just try, give it a chance, because you never know.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Thanks so much for being here, Sharoze. It's been an awesome time talking to you.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
no, I
many
appreciate it.
meaningful things to say. It's really
Yeah,
fascinating.
no, thanks so much for inviting me on here. It's an awesome platform, and I see your other interviews, and you're doing great things. I really enjoy them. I've seen a bunch of them.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I'll be sure to like link your stuff, man, because you got some really, really cool stuff. So yeah, I'll put that in the description. Yeah. Before we go, I just wanted to ask you, how do you keep your hair so cool? What do you do to it?
Oh, honestly, just I wake up like this. I'm just, nothing. I don't do. No, I'm kidding. I usually just blow dryer and like hair wax or spray, but I'm trying to stay away from hairspray and like products for now, because they can be harmful in the long run. So yeah, mainly blow dryer. So well,
Cool, cool. All right, man. Well, good talking to you.
all right,
You take
you
care, yeah?
too. All right, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you being here.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Bye.